Good time and peace to you, friends. In this article, I would like to share with you a new forecast from the renowned Indian astrologer, Anuradha Verma. Her predictions are trusted by millions of people worldwide, and videos and programs featuring her garner numerous views online. And it's not surprising, as they serve as direct proof of her accuracy and predictive power. In one of her videos dated 2021, Anuradha informs that soon the usual situation in the world will completely change, and a great transformation will begin. She calls the period from January 29, 2021, to February 27, 2022, a delicate time when significant changes affecting the entire world will occur. She also points out an impending military conflict and specific countries most likely to be involved in this conflict. The astrologer even names the countries with the highest likelihood of involvement in this conflict. And as it turns out, she is absolutely correct. This conflict is still ongoing. According to Anuradha Verma's forecasts, the period from January 29, 2021, to February 27, 2022, is a very delicate time when major changes impacting everyone are expected. And there is a high probability that this conflict will start from Europe or America. Currently, there is a dispute between Ukraine, NATO, and Russia, and the military conflict may erupt there. Planets influence the situation. The astrologer also predicts an economic crisis that will have significant consequences for ordinary people, such as price hikes and unavailability of essential goods. This year, there is expected to be a significant loss of the planet's population due to the economic crisis. Anuradha's forecasts raise many questions about the possible conflict between Russia and Ukraine and future events. Anuradha Verma, an astrologer, issued a statement addressing these questions. If the military conflict between Russia and Ukraine does not cease by May 2022, it may continue until 2024 and have a significant impact on the whole of Europe. She also mentions the possibility that Ukraine will join NATO, but this is unlikely according to her natal chart. The large organization NATO is unlikely to accept Ukraine as it aims to weaken Russia through Ukraine. There is very little time left in the scale of the country's history. Once friendly Russia. Predictions about this are enough from the past and present. Watch earlier videos at the link in the description and you will understand what is being discussed. Returning to the conclusions of astrologer Anuradha Verma. In her forecast for the spring of 2024, in a live broadcast, the following statement was made: Europe is suffering greatly from the conflict in Ukraine. The economy and ecology are also under threat. The lives of ordinary people are rapidly deteriorating, and all this leads to the world beginning a reverse transformation, a transition to a fair form of governance. Europe and the USA are rapidly losing allies, and ultimately everything is moving towards the partnership between the EU and the USA completely falling apart. At this time, the development of poor countries and developing countries will go up. In the spring of 2024, people will be able to observe the beginning of this process when the world's largest economies will undergo a serious transformation, resulting in both a rapid development and standard of living in some countries, and a complete decline in others. So, Russia is one of those countries that awaits incredible success in the near future. The countdown has already begun for years, on a countrywide scale and much faster. This process will occur at the level of both small businesses and large entrepreneurs. The scale of the country's economy in terms of growth and development in the coming years will amaze not only the population but will also have a special impact on other countries and inhabitants of the planet, the astrologer asserts. Russia will become one of the most attractive places to live on the planet by 2030. Let alone the fact that in the spring of 2024, new territories will join Russia, which, according to the astrologer, will also begin their rapid development and transformation. Spring 2024 will also mark the starting point for the conclusion of the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, which, according to the Indian astrologer, will end in 2024. However, the West and the losing side will need much more time to acknowledge their defeat and understand that Russia's swift victory is inevitable. Astrologers and seers predict that in the spring of 2024, there will be some secret negotiations in the highest governmental structures. These negotiations will concern Ukraine but will take place between Russia and the USA. For many who know the origins and history of this conflict, there are no such questions. Those who remember the Russian leader's speech at the meeting with the leader of Ukraine in 2008, where he explained that Russia would sooner or later be forced to respond to the West's actions in Ukraine if the country's course did not change. Nor do they have any doubts or questions about astrologer Anuradha Verma. She also said that within the next 3 years, peace will come to Russia. This means that both sides will fully accept the outcome, and the conflict in Ukraine will end within the next 3 years, with Russia's complete victory by the end of 2024. The acute phase will end, and there will be a complete cessation of hostilities, although it will take some more time. The astrologer says that Europe and the USA will face a great disappointment as a result of this situation. Therefore, negotiations between Russia and the United States will begin in the spring of 2024, and military assistance to Ukraine will be more of a formal nature until it is completely discontinued. By this time, all parties will begin to understand the inevitable outcome. This is Russia's swift victory, and since the future, according to the astrologer, cannot be changed but only neutralized in its negative impact, the stage of acceptance will not be long in coming. Furthermore, the astrologer says that Ukraine will ultimately decide to end this conflict, as it will not see any other way out for itself. It will become the initiator of agreements and decisions on this issue. Anuradha Verma named exact dates, saying that in October to November 2024, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine will be concluded. The military conflict between the two countries may end by the end of the year. Firstly, Ukraine has greatly weakened. According to the horoscope, peace will come to Russia within the next few years. Ukraine itself will want to end this military confrontation. At this time, Western countries are already distancing themselves from providing assistance to Ukraine because the economies of these Western countries are suffering due to this military conflict. The astrologer also predicted that rapid development in the Russian Federation will begin immediately after the end of the conflict and will continue until the country becomes the leading global power. By this time, negotiations between Russia and the United States will begin, and military assistance to Ukraine will be more of a formal nature until it is completely discontinued. By this time, all parties will begin to understand the inevitable outcome. In the perspective, after some time, there may be development of mutually beneficial cooperation with various directions. However, currently, the United States must consider Russia's position and accept the fact that they can no longer dictate their rules. Russia's reasoned arguments require coordination. Anuradha predicts a dire situation for America in 2030, its influence will weaken, and even a weak Europe will break away from its influence, dividing spheres of influence in a multipolar world. Anuradha Verma made an astonishing prediction about a possible American-Chinese conflict between 2028 and 2030, but the decision still rests with the people. At the same time, the world will face a threat, about which an Indian astrologer conducted research on the world's cosmic chart, and it turned out to be stunning. Canada, Africa, and America are threatened with something new, previously unknown, related to natural calamities of massive proportions linked to water, about which forecasters are already prepared to report. However, such a threat is not observed for Russia, according to Anuradha Verma. As for the safety of the eastern coast of our country, the client received a response that this catastrophe does not frighten Russia. However, fires and earthquakes should be feared, especially in areas where there is a seasonal risk of their occurrence, as well as in seismic active zones. However, it is indicated that all this is a reaction of nature to the ongoing transformations in the world. While the world is in the process of transformation and purification, it directly affects every country. Arkhangelsk and the Komi Republic may find themselves at the center of natural elements. The astrologer also points out that prayer always has a powerful impact on nature, and much remains unknown and unstudied. Overall, the mid-2024 will be a good time for Russia as the conflict will pass, and the country is in a favorable position in the Northern Hemisphere. Growth and progress are expected here in economic and military terms. Thank you for watching this episode. Please like if you found the video interesting, and let's discuss in the comments whether you agree with the Indian astrologer's forecast. Subscribe to the channel to be the first to watch videos about the future, and don't forget to check out our full playlist with ready-made videos about what awaits us, link in the description. Until next time.